My name is Sandra Coy.
My name is Kyle Smith.
My name is Susie Stone.
My name is Jackson Owens.
My name is Brandon Sucknet.
I'm Jen Sethi.
I'm Jackson White.
I am Shayla Jones.
I'm Gwendolyn Roberts.
I'm Ashley Lee.
I'm Jake Allen.
So my name is Sierra Barrow.
I'm David Ronan.
Essentially see what happens in the world, and then just kind of doing it on a smaller scale to begin with, and just kind of the school is just kind of it's a neat idea, I guess.
Seems like a really interesting concept, being able to let people know what's going on and kind of being their voice.
I think it's really fun to be able to go out and talk to new people and really write about things that matter to the people around you.
Well, I mean, journalism, it's, you kind of see it in a new light once you're in journalism. Because before, when I wasn't, I didn't think it was that important to me.
Because when I started high school, I had a goal that I was going to try as many things as possible and just kind of see where I want to go in life, because I actually have no idea. And I've always enjoyed writing a lot, and when I got the letter from Coyer, I was like, I thought that this was going to be, like this was just a sign that I should try it.
I've always loved writing. I started writing when I was in the first grade, and it was just something that came natural for me. And I really enjoyed being able to tell stories.
I've always been a big fan of writing, and I've always been a big fan of things like science, where you learn more about things and you're just constantly learning something new. And journalism is a lot of the same thing, where each story you're writing, you have to learn something new. So
Because it's another form of writing, and I really enjoy writing, and it's good to understand the process of being able to publish something and getting stuff done on certain deadlines.
Overall, I find it interesting to produce.
Don't like to start writing. So it's really it helps me start to write more.
It was very hard to just run around and ask people if I can take a picture and ask you a question. So it was very, felt rewarding to see it.
When I first laid out a page, I was there the longest. I was there all of the staff was gone. It was just the editors and Coyer, and I was just sitting there. I remember Coyer walking by me and saying, she's like, I'm proud of you.
It all seemed kind of worth the struggle.
Probably for the Black Lives Matter, racial stereotype story. It took a really long time to get everybody, all of my sources and all of my interviews done. Trying to get in contact with professors, which is the hardest thing, and just trying to get everything set out. And I asked a lot of questions, and they gave me really lengthy answers, and it was a really hard deadline that time. I was just really stressed out, but it turned out really, really nice.
I would just say this year so far has definitely been worth the struggle, because I am a part of an ed board of once 3, now it's 4, but there were only 3 returning staff members, so we had to teach our entire class basically how to do page layout and how to write stories and take photos. And that was really tough at the beginning, because it was almost it was only 3 people laying out 8 pages worth of content for our first newspaper. And we've definitely had our speed bumps throughout the way that have slowed us down, but in the end, I have an amazing staff that I consider some of my closest friends, and we're actually teaching them, and they're absorbing our material, which is really nice to know that our hard work isn't going unnoticed.
every issue we go through a big struggle with deadline. And so every issue, when our print paper comes to us, it's a great reward to see that we made it through the struggle and we have a product to show for it.
There's always going to be struggles with some of the stories you do. I don't think it's ever going to go smoothly or perfectly, whatever you do in here, but I mean, without struggle in journalism, I think it wouldn't really be journalism in a way. But I mean, there's a lot of walls you have to build, because some people, are offended by what you write about or what you want to find out. And some people tell you what you can't do, but you just kind of have to stick to yourself and be strong about it. And eventually you're going to figure out what you need to for whatever you need to work on in journalism. So it's all about just kind of pushing through.
Like it always feels good when you first accomplish something that's kind of challenging. Like when I first had to learn about how to actually write a story without any opinion or something rough like that. But
I was talking about we put a lot of hard work into it.
It's a lot more hard work than you probably think.
That it's, despite the amount of work and responsibility and effort you have to put into it, at the end, just seeing in the paper, the work just pays off, and it's just a great experience to be involved in an almost family atmosphere that we're involved in every day.
Probably that it's not useless. A lot of people, they just don't read it because, it's oh, it's stupid, or oh, it doesn't, matter, or whatever, but it does matter. Because at least for me personally, the way I see it, we put so much work into it, and everybody else gets recognized. Sports players, they get recognized constantly, for their hard work. And so, I'd love for people to realize, just because we're not putting that hard work directed at sports, we're putting it into the paper for other people to read. We do it for other people.
That we put a lot more work into it than they think we do.
It's a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of work at first, and it is a lot of work, but it's probably the most fun that I've had in a class ever, just because it's you have a very strong bond with everyone.
Kind of more opportunity for yourself, really. I mean, there is a chance, to meet new people and whatnot, but it really is all about opportunity for yourself. I mean, you get to kind of see where your skills are and what you're good at, what you're not, but you kind of just see how well you operate under specific circumstances in journalism, so it's pretty cool to see.
If I could speak to the students at PHS, I would want them to understand that a newspaper and the website, there's a lot of work that goes into that. And there's actually things in there that they can benefit from reading and want to know. I think so often people are so interested on what's the newest thing on Twitter or Instagram or, text messages or Snapchat. But, really going in and looking at stories that people have really worked hard on and, made directly for them. The student body at PHS is actually the reader. So to kind of read those and see what other people have to say about things, I think it's really powerful. And it's not just powerful for the person writing it, it's to, build knowledge in other students and change their perspectives. And I think at the end of the day, that's what's the most important.